What up guys, welcome to another tutorial, another After Effects tutorial. Today I will show you how to create a flat gradient. This trend is around for some time now. I have usually seen it in illustration, but I thought, what would it look an animated version? The result is great. You can use it as a loop, as an element, or maybe a background, and the possibilities are endless. Download the project file here in the description, and in the meantime, let's get started with this tutorial. Okay, let's start by creating a composition. Maybe 3 seconds is a good time, and hit OK. And now we need to create a solid. New layer, new solid. Make comp size and hit OK. Now we need to create a shape layer with the form of the gradient. So click the pen tool and drag the points. Make sure that the solid is not selected, and leave a little room for the shape layer because we are going to apply an effect. Now go to select the shape layer and go to effects, click on distort, and select turbulent displays. Now increase the amount, maybe 100 is a good number. Now for the size, if you increase the size, you can see that the waves is more like consistent, and if you decrease it, it's like a lot of randomness to the waveforms. So maybe 200 is great, and the complexity maybe 3, or no, it's too much, maybe 2, and decrease a little bit the amount. This is up to you. You can experiment with different values. In the evolution, click on the stopwatch to make a keyframe on the first frame of the composition, and click on cycle evolution under the evolution options. Now this creates a loop, one loop, as you can see here. Go to the end of the composition and change the value of the evolution to 1. So now we have a loop. If you can preview, you can see that it's a seamless loop. Now select the solid and go to toggle switches and modes, and select track matte for the shape layer using the alpha channel of the shape layer. And as you can see, I did this method for a thing that you are gonna see later in the tutorial, but click on both layers, select both layers and pre-compose, rename it, and in this layer we need to apply a color to this layer. So go to effects and now generate, and click on fill. Select any color you want, maybe pink one, and turn this layer 3D. If you hit P for the position, you can see that the position on C is 0. Now we need to add an expression to this position layer. Just click Alt and stopwatch and drag the pick whip to the any value you want. Here is a variable, and the content of the variable, the value of the variable, and we need to change this. So write index, and the index is the number of the layer, the number assigned to this layer. This number in this case is 1 times 60, maybe less, maybe 30. That means that 1 times 30 is 30, but I don't want that value in each axis. So select the first axis and drag the pick whip to the X value. Select the next one and pick whip to the Y value, and for the last one I want that value. In this case, if you click on the outside, you can see is 30. Now each time you duplicate this layer, this value is going to increase by 30. So 2 times 30 is 60. Now duplicate this layer until you have maybe 10 layers, and start changing the colors of each layer, creating any gradient you want. You can Google color palette and see for a little inspiration. And now we need to position these layers. One way you can do this is creating a camera. Remember that all the layers need to be on the bottom of the composition, so the index number isn't affected. And now with the camera tool, or click C, the letter C, you can change for the camera mode and move the camera, maybe zoom it and rotate. I like in this position. Now we need to make a variation of the layers, so drag the second layer in time and click right click time, enable time remapping. Now click on the stopwatch, alt click and the stopwatch, and write loop out with the capital O. This creates a loop, and maybe in the keyframe is disappearing the layer, so just get back maybe one frame, create another keyframe and drag the keyframe for the last keyframe. We can do this for all the layers. Copy the time remap effect and paste it on every layer. Just copy and paste it and drag the layer, and do this for all the layers to make a variation in the gradient. Also, you can create a variation of the layers if you can change the tool with the letter B to create the selection tool, and dragging the layer up or right, or changing the position to highlight some forms. Once you have all your layers in position, create a new layer, a new solid behind the last layer. Turn the solid 3D and change the position maybe 330. Create the fill effect and change the color. Now for the last step, we need to create the shadows. Go to layer, new light, and select the point light in color white. Click on cast shadows, and for the shadow darkness, decrease it to 50. Now if you can see, the effect is applied, and now select the light and drag it to the Z axis until you have the result that you want. Now we can't see the shadows because we need to activate the shadows on each layer, so click on the layer 1 and go to material options and cast shadows on. Now if you can see, the shadow is appearing, and now you can increase the diffuse value so the color is less affected by the light, maybe 65. And now we need to click on the material options and Control C, copy, select all the layers and Control V. Now we have all the shadows and it looks good. Make a preview of this element. Be patient because this is a lot of processing these shadows, and as you can see, the loop is complete and it looks good. Now, one thing about this tutorial, this method, is all the things that moves and that animates to create this gradient is on the pre-comp. So if you go to the pre-comp, you can change any animation or maybe put a text instead of the shape layer, and click on the main comp, and you can see how the results is being reflected. In this case, I don't like the look of this text. Maybe we can try invert the alpha. So toggle switches and modes for the solid and click on alpha invert. Now click on the comp one and see this is a lot different result. You can try different things, different animations and different elements, create a logo, move the camera, anything you want. And if the program starts to slow down, you can activate the draft 3D. This deactivates the shadows and the ambiental elements, so you can get the things faster, okay? And once you're happy with your camera and with your position, you can deactivate the draft 3D to get a full resolution. Maybe you can let's create an animation and a text. This remember the text the alpha, and if you can see, this is a quite good look. Well guys, I hope you find this tutorial useful. Remember, you can ask me for any tutorial you want in Master Effects with double S in any social media. Remember to subscribe this channel and activate the notification bell. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video. Bye.